Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL landscape, you already know that the Packers are sitting in a really interesting spot this season. They're currently at 3-1-1, which is pretty solid considering the competitive NFC North and the challenges they faced early on. But what's really shaking things up behind the scenes is the news that's been swirling around, and it's not just a minor rumor. It's looking like a potential blockbuster move that could reshape the division and give Green Bay a real shot at another deep playoff run. And it's all centered around a massive name, Myles Garrett from the Cleveland Browns. That's right, the rumors, fueled by Ian Rappaport, are pointing towards a trade that could send shockwaves through the league. To understand why this is such a big deal, we have to look at what Garrett brings to the table. This guy has been a dominant force in the NFL since he entered as the first overall pick in 2017. He's a five-time All-Pro, which speaks volumes about his consistency and impact on the field. Just last season, in 2025, he racked up 7 sacks and 38 pressures in just 5 games, maintaining a PFF grade of 93.4, which puts him among the elite pass rushers in the league. His pass rush win rate sits at around 23%, and he's averaging about 2.6 QB hits per game. That's the kind of disruption that can turn a game on its head. Throughout his career, Garrett has accumulated 92 sacks, forcing 20 fumbles, and making over 400 tackles. His ability to generate pressure, especially with swim moves and technical finesse, makes him a nightmare for offensive lines. And unlike some players who get hampered by injuries, Garrett has been remarkably durable in recent years, missing only a handful of games in 2024 due to shoulder issues, but staying healthy in 2025. Now, the Browns are in a tricky spot financially and strategically. They're about $12 million over the cap, and honestly, their defense has been allowing an average of 29 points per game, which is quite high for a team with playoff aspirations. Cleveland is looking at a rebuild, especially with Deshaun Watson struggling with accuracy, just 55% completion, 3 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, and their pass rush, which once relied heavily on Garrett, has suffered. They're now faced with a tough decision. Do they hold onto Garrett, a potential franchise-defining player, or do they cash in on him to rebuild and allocate cap space elsewhere? The answer, according to the rumors, is that they're leaning towards trading him. And the proposed deal is certainly eye-catching. A first-round pick in 2026, plus Kingsley Enagbare, the young edge from the Packers, who's shown flashes of promise this season with 3 sacks in 2025. This move would free up around $23 million in cap space for Cleveland, giving them some breathing room to focus on protecting Watson and building a more complete roster. From the Packers' side, this is a golden opportunity. They'd be adding a player of Garrett's caliber to their already potent pass rush, which has been impressive but could use an extra boost. Right now, the Packers' pass rush is generating about 2.8 sacks per game, which is decent but not elite. The addition of Garrett could push that number significantly higher, especially given his history of pressure and sack production. His presence on the line would drastically elevate the pressure rate, going from around 31% to potentially over 50%, which would be a game-changer for Green Bay's defense. Pairing him with Rashan Gary, who's been a force himself, creates a nightmare tandem for offensive lines. Just imagine Garrett's ability to force turnovers, combined with Gary's relentless pursuit, could turn the Packers' front into one of the most feared in the league, reminiscent of the Rams' defense when Aaron Donald was at his peak, energizing the entire unit. And it's not just about sacks. Garrett's capacity to influence the game extends to run defense, where he can create havoc and open up opportunities for the linebackers and secondary. His career stats speak for themselves, averaging around 1.4 batted passes per game, disrupting plays before they even develop. For Green Bay, acquiring Garrett wouldn't just be about boosting their pass rush. It's about transforming their entire defensive identity, making them a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, and a nightmare for any offense trying to establish a rhythm. Now, let's talk about the implications of this move on the broader NFL landscape. The odds of the Packers making a deep playoff run would skyrocket. DraftKings has already moved their Super Bowl odds from plus 1,800 to plus 800, reflecting the massive boost that Garrett would bring. His presence would also serve as a statement. Green Bay isn't just competing, they're all in for a serious shot at another Lombardi trophy. Garrett's playoff history is noteworthy too. He averages 2.8 sacks per postseason, and his ability to perform under pressure could be the difference-maker in critical moments. His reputation as a game wrecker is well-earned, and adding him to an already talented roster could push the Packers to at least a 13-3 or 14-3 finish, with a real shot at clinching the NFC North and potentially beyond. This kind of move also signals a shift in the division. The Bears, who have been making some noise with their own additions, are now facing a more formidable Green Bay team that's not just relying on young talent, but also on proven stars like Garrett. It's a strategic gamble for the Browns, who are clearly prioritizing protecting Watson and building for the future. Cleveland's defense, allowing nearly 29 points per game, is clearly in need of a rebuild, and trading Garrett, despite his immense talent, might be the best move for their long-term strategy. But of course, with any big trade like this, questions arise. Will Cleveland really part with Garrett? Will the Packers be willing to give up their first-round pick in 2026 and a promising young player like an Agbear? And what about the chemistry? How quickly could Garrett adapt to Green Bay's system? Those are questions for the weeks ahead, but the signs point to a serious possibility that this blockbuster could become reality. If it happens, it's going to shake up the entire NFL landscape, especially in the NFC. The Packers, who are already competitive, would become even more dangerous, and their Super Bowl odds would reflect that shift. It's a move that could define this era for Green Bay, one that might be remembered for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And let's not forget the fans, because this isn't just about stats and trades. It's about passion, pride, and a team that has a storied history of excellence and resilience. The Packers have always been about building a family, about doing things the right way, and about fighting tooth and nail to bring home championships. This potential acquisition of Garrett aligns perfectly with that mindset, adding a player who's proven himself time and again as a game wrecker. It's about elevating the entire team, giving Jordan Love a formidable partner on the defensive front, and creating a roster that can compete at the highest level for years to come. Of course, the NFL is unpredictable. There's always a chance that the trade doesn't materialize, or that it takes longer than expected to finalize. But if it does happen, it's going to be a game changer. The Packers will have taken a bold step, showing that they're serious about contending once again, even amid a competitive NFC. The Browns, meanwhile, might be starting a rebuild, trying to gather assets and youth and focusing on the future. This trade could serve as a catalyst for a new chapter in both teams' histories. So, as we follow this story unfold in the coming days, keep your eyes glued to the news. This is one of those rare moments in the NFL where a move like this could shift the balance of power, energize a fanbase, and set the stage for what could be a historic season for Green Bay. The road to the Super Bowl is always filled with surprises, but if this deal goes through, the Packers will have added a true difference-maker who can help them chase that elusive Lombardi trophy once again. And for all of us fans out there, that's what makes this league so exciting, those moments when everything changes, and suddenly your team is right back in the hunt for glory. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Green Bay Packers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Green Bay Packers news. Thanks for being here, and as always, go Pack Go!